Alright, so in this video, we're taking a Skewb and putting a golf ball in it to create a void Skewb. So let's get to it. Started off by making some markings, and I used a big chunk of plasticine to actually hold the golf ball in place, and it worked super well, just so it wouldn't bounce around while I was drilling the holes. I did end up making the holes a little too big. Then I used a Dremel to slowly Dremel away these corner sections. Now, I was originally planning on making a classic void Skewb, kind of like the Tony Fisher void Skewb, and now this is going to be a bit of a shock to some of you, but I actually made a total mistake. I cut out the corner sections, which is of course not what you need for the classic void Skewb. So I had a decision. I was at a crossroads. I could either admit that I was wrong, move on, and just make a new core, or I could completely double down on the mistake and just make a corner void Skewb. That's exactly what I did. So I started to scrape away at the edges of the pieces just to make them nice and smooth, and then I found a pretty interesting trick for making the centers. You can rearrange the core in such a way that it's actually super easy to make the new core with the golf ball. So all you really need are slightly bigger washers, as long as they're bigger than the diameter of the centers, which they are here. So anyways, all that really needs to be done is the length of the center needs to be cut down some, just like that. Then, and this is just really the most convenient thing in the world, there's a little, see that little circle there in the middle? Well, you can screw the center in there. So if you get the screw, you get your washer on there. You can then feed it in from the inside, get a screw like that, then you get your center, you put it on there, then you get the cap, and you can just screw it all the way in there so it becomes nice and flush and tight. I then gave the golf ball a coat of spray paint, just decided that it would it would be pretty obvious that this was a golf ball if I left it white, so gave it a bit of a spray paint. It was kind of tough to get the inside. So then, as you can see here, the corner sort of disassembles into three pieces. Now, I removed the ball bearings from this Skewb a long time ago. I can't remember why. So this puzzle was actually super glued together and didn't have a screw. There's originally a screw that keeps the whole thing together. So then I sanded down the little bits that were jetting out from the surface. And then, of course, took the trusty Dremel and then made little cuts so I could cut out a triangle section. And then I've actually found that it's a lot easier to handle certain cuts with like a kitchen knife as opposed to a hacksaw. I also just didn't have a hacksaw, so there's that. You can see here, that's the corner section. Alright, so this is the finished product. It took me 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 5 seconds to make. And I think it's pretty cool. You can see through here. You can stick a pencil through it in all sorts of different ways. Turning is not so great, but it works. As you can see here, you can kind of see as I turn it, get the angle here, yeah, you can see it goes from void, and then you see the golf ball, and then you see the void again. So yeah. Super easy puzzle. If you have a Skewb lying around, it's not really much of a speed cube by modern standards. It's a pretty fun puzzle. All you need is a golf ball, and I did use washers, but if you drilled the holes smaller, you wouldn't need to use washers. So you can pretty much get away with this with just a golf ball and a Skewb. And I guess you would also need a Dremel. It would be really hard to make this puzzle without a Dremel. But anyways, yeah. Thank you for watching.